Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Game day energy starts before the first snap with Chumba Casino. Whether you're killing time before kickoff or celebrating a big touchdown, Chumba Casino brings the thrill of the game right to your browser. Spin the reels, play blackjack, instant scratch-style cards, and more. It's like having a full playbook of fun at your fingertips. Sign up in seconds and score a free welcome bonus. Plus, daily login bonuses each time you return. And here's the extra point. You don't need to make a purchase to get in on the action. So whether you're going for a Hail Mary or just looking for a solid drive of entertainment, Chumba Casino gives you a chance to score some serious prizes without leaving your home turf. It's your move. Start your streak at ChumbaCasino.com today. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Looking for these better days.
It is Monday, October 27th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. It was a chalky Sunday NFL Week 8 as favorites go 9-2 straight up and against the spread. And it was a good day for the public as well. The overs went 9-2 yesterday in the NFL. Trench Report did very well in the running back props, 3-2 on the sides in Week 8 in total because of the Thursday night game as well. Let's get into it all. Mackenzie Rivers joins me here on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mac, I don't think any result yesterday surprised anybody. Like, it was as chalky of an NFL Sunday as you will find. Now, with that being said, there was massive carnage in the Circa Survivor contest as 33% of the pool was on the Atlanta Falcons, laying a 7 points against the Miami Dolphins. And about, 700, 800 people were on the Bengals against the Jets. So maybe that result surprises you, the way the Jets came back and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Not if you listen to this pod, not if you listen to me or follow the Trench Report. We called the Jets upset over the Cincinnati Bengals. I said take the 6.5 points with the New York Jets. But the Dolphins and Falcons game, if the quarterback change to Kirk Cousins talked you off of betting that game, great. If Drake London being out before the game talked you off of that game, great. But when you have to submit your Survivor entry on Saturday, and you don't know that Drake London's missing the game, you know that it's already going to be Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins didn't really do much, and the Falcons were absolutely embarrassed yesterday by the Miami Dolphins. Mackenzie,
the Falcons have 2 F's on their report card. They were at Carolina in week 3, 30-0. And you look into the stats, pretty even. So what was it? Bad bounce of the ball here and there, just one of those games. All right. Well, they beat Washington the next week. They beat Buffalo. We're off that. They lost to San Francisco on Sunday Night Football. Now they have 34-10 at home versus the Dolphins. So who are the real Atlanta Falcons? People speculated, is it home road split? Is only bet at home? Well, this was at home. I don't think it had everything to do with the quarterback. He didn't have a good game. Maybe the team didn't rally around him because it wasn't their guy. I don't know. But I think the Falcons, who Mia Culpa was talking about maybe winning the NFC South. Man, I don't even know if this team's a 500 team.
They looked terrible yesterday, and a lot of it has to do, in my opinion, with terrible coaching. With all due respect to Raheem Morris, and the defense at times is been it's been good. There's some games where you're like, something, it's the defense looks good, and then some games where you're like the defense looks iffy or whatever. I think Zach Robinson as an offensive coordinator has made some of the worst play calling and personnel decisions that an NFL coordinator could make. And I mean no disrespect when I say this, but a child playing Madden could make better calls than what Zach Robinson has done with this Atlanta Falcons offense. Mackenzie, every single time it is a 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, they take Bijan Robinson off the field and they bring in Tyler Algiers, who's their bigger bodied back.
Big uglies. 4th and 1, old school football.
But you know what happens when you do that? The other team knows what you're doing. And the big moment in this game, in my opinion, because we can count to several moments, keep in mind, the Miami Dolphins came into this game with the worst rushing defense in the NFL. And so did you hand the ball off to Bijan 10 times in a row? No. You tried different plays, and you also tried to take him off the field. But okay, you go 3 and out in your first possession. Bijan, 2 carries, doesn't do much. You go run, pass, punt. Okay. Then you have the field goal drive. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is where I think the game was essentially lost. And it's hard to say that because it's the second quarter. But Miami scores a touchdown, and you're down 7-3. You march down the field. You have Bijan freaking Robinson, who right now is, in my opinion, top 3 running back in the NFL. Like it's Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, and Bijan Robinson in whatever order you want to put them in. Probably top 3 running backs in the NFL. He is an all-world player. Bijan Robinson on 2nd and 8 has a 7-yard run. You take him off the field and you bring in your big-bodied back and Tyler Algier, and he gets stuffed for no gain, and you settle for a field goal. Absolutely coaching malpractice there, okay? Then you stop Miami, okay, you get the ball back. Bijan Robinson touches it 1 time. On your next possession, you go 3 and out. You hold Miami to a field goal. You get the football back. Bijan Robinson doesn't touch the football. Then you give up a touchdown to Miami, and now you're down 17-3 going into the locker room. You come out of the locker room, and you give the ball to Bijan twice, but then it's the same thing as the start of the game, run, pass, punt. Then you hold Miami, then Bijan fumbles, and you give up a touchdown, and the game is over. You're down 24-3. They had moments, so many moments earlier in this game of their first 15, 16 plays. Bijan only touched it a couple of times, and you took him off the field in one of the biggest moments early in the game. That's where the game is won. The game's not won or lost, Mackenzie, in different aspects of special teams play or quarterback making a bad throw, whatever. The game is won or lost in the little decisions that you make throughout the course of an NFL game. That right there was one of the little decisions that people ignore. But those are the difference between winning and losing football games. If Bijan Robinson gets a first down there and the Falcons score a touchdown on that drive, whole different ball game.
I got to agree. I wonder if they outsmarted themselves thinking, well, our quarterback's out. Bijan Robinson's our best player. Everyone's going to think we're going to go with Bijan Robinson. The thing is, if you do think that, then why wouldn't you at least have him out there as a distraction on 3rd and 1?
But they do this every game. It's every game. I mean, go search Twitter. Every game they're taking him off the field in these 3rd and 1, 4th and inches. That your best player is off the field in the biggest moments of these games. It makes no sense.
Yeah, they didn't have the receiver, so they threw the ball more. Makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. Just so a terrible loss for them. And then the Jets come back. I mean, this is one that listen, the Trench Report called this. And I went on VSiN on Saturday night, and I called this. I said the Jets, if they're going to be able to run the ball on the Cincinnati Bengals. And if they're able to run the ball on the Cincinnati Bengals, they will pick up their first win of the season. The Jets rushed for 254 yards yesterday against Cincinnati. And you know something? I get it. You score 38 points in an NFL game, you should win that NFL game. But if you allow 254 rushing yards, you're not going to win an NFL game.
Man, what a terrible team the Bengals must be to lose to the 0-7 Jets. And the thing is, a lot of metrics had them as the second worst team in the league, but they were still no team that bad. No team that's the second, third worst team in the league, fourth worst team in the league should be favored by 6 points. You identified it and closed at 5.5, so people agreed. Market money came in on the Jets. And yeah, there was a moment in the game it could have gone the other way. They were down 15 points in the fourth quarter. But they're not a team that should be laying points. They're just not good.
Mackenzie, I just looked up in the history of the database, which goes back to, what year does it go back to? 1989? 1989, I think? Okay. When your opponent rushes for 250 or more yards, you are 21 and 239 straight up.
I'm surprised you win about 7% of them. All right, not bad.
You are 29 and 239, and against the spread, you are 29, 227 and 4. I don't care how many points you score. If you're the Cincinnati Bengals and you give up 250 rushing yards, you're going to lose that football game.
I said this. I think this is the end of Joe Burrow's comeback campaign? I think now they pack it up. No Joe Burrow this season. They already got Joe Cool.
Yeah, exactly. And Flacco was fine. 21 of 34, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns. Points. He also rushed. Yeah, they scored 38 points. You're right. That's not the issue. And by the way, like looking at what the Indianapolis Colts are doing, granted, we'll get to the Colts here in just a moment because of their schedule. But maybe all the issues with Cincinnati's defense was not on Sweet Lou Anarumo. Maybe it was the personnel.
Oh, yeah. It's the fact that they don't want to pay like the one good defensive player they had more than $14 million a year, and he's going to be a free agent next year for the Rams to freaking get. They should pack it up as a franchise.
It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. The Patriots are a machine. Drake May, 3 more touchdowns. They win 32-13 over the Cleveland Browns. And where do you think right now, Mackenzie Rivers, where do you think Drake May is in the MVP race?
I mean, he was like 4th or 5th last week. Baker Mayfield's fallen out. I think it goes Mahomes, Allen. I think it's May right there.
Drake May is the 3rd favorite to win the MVP at plus 450 up on FanDuel right now. It goes Mahomes, Allen, and Drake May. He is the 3rd favorite to win the MVP. What a season the kid's having. Patriots are legit, and 6-2. They are absolutely legit. Giants lose to the Eagles. Eagles win 38-20, and this was the great spot that we talk about where you're playing the same team the second time in 3 weeks. And if you look at the teams that lost the first game in these matchups and are favored in the second game, now 8-3 straight up in ATS. And so great bounce back spot for Philly. They were not going to lose to the Giants twice in 3 weeks. And a bad break, literally, for the New York Giants. The injury that was too gross to show multiple replays, which they did on the Red Zone channel. I mean, my goodness, please stop showing
I was watching this specifically on the Red Zone channel, and I'm glad you brought that up. Because this is how it was introduced. You probably don't want to watch this, but if you do want to watch this, don't say we didn't warn you. Now, here it is. And like while he's saying that, they're putting it up, and then they're saying on the broadcast, oh, we're not going to show this. I saw it. Somebody showed it to me, and now you're saying you're not going to show it to me. Whatever.
Absolutely gross, bad broken ankle and probably torn ligaments with Cam Scatterbo. His season is likely over. No conversation about the grass there in Philadelphia, though, right? But I guess if this was at MetLife Stadium, this would be the biggest story in sports right now if this injury happened at home. Because they'd be like, first neighbors, now Cam Scatterbo.
We can't have nice things.
Yeah, that was terrible. But the Giants are going to be, they'll reload next year. You know, Scatterbo will be back. Neighbors will be back. Dart with a year under his belt. Giants will be a team here in 2026/27. So
they will be a franchise. You're right about
Yes.
that. They will be there.
they'll be competitive. Speaking of being competitive, the Panthers don't know what that means. Bills blow out the Panthers 40-9. Andy Dalton got the start in place of Bryce Young, who was dealing with an injury. Great spot for the Bills coming off the bye. James Cook, Mackenzie, 19 carries, 216 yards. This was one of the Trench Report rushing mismatches, which by the way went a perfect 5-0 if you looked at the RB1s in the Trench Report mismatches. It was J.K. Dobbins went over, Rico Dowdle went over, James Cook went over, Breece Hall went over, and Jonathan Taylor went over.
So the Trench Report shows you the 4 quadrants, and if you specifically identified good rushing versus bad rush defense, and you said, all right, those are the games, circle them. Was it just the top 5 that you looked at?
Those were the top 5 rushing mismatches. Yes, the top 5 rushing mismatches. All 5 RB1s went over their rushing props.
All right, so you're like, this team's got a good running game, and they got a bad rushing defensive opponent. I'm going to go to RB1, and I'm going to go Dowdle over, James Cook over, whatever it is. And then you went 5-0. You parlayed them. You went what, like 64-1 or something on your money?
Who knows? I didn't do it. Wish I did. So big game from James Cook there.
But it's not about you, bro. It's the value that we provide each and every week.
Absolutely. Bills win 40-9.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Ravens, what a spot. They beat the Bears 30-16. This was the story that everybody was talking about over the weekend because the Baltimore Ravens were 6.5-point favorites all week over the Chicago Bears. I bet the Baltimore Ravens at 6.5. I was under the assumption that Lamar Jackson was practicing fully, and therefore Lamar Jackson was going to start at quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. In fact, the market agreed with me because on Friday night, the Ravens were 7-point favorites. And then the news came out early Saturday morning that Lamar Jackson's participation in practice was actually with the scout team, not with the first team. And then it was reported that Lamar Jackson would miss this game. The line goes from 6.5 to 2.5. Ravens close as a 3-point favorite. Didn't matter. Covered all numbers. Ravens with the 30-16 win behind Snoop Huntley. They finally got the running game going. Derrick Henry scored 2 touchdowns. And another performance, Mackenzie, where you're wondering how long is Caleb Williams going to be the starter for the Chicago Bears?
I don't know if I was wondering that. I haven't been wondering that. Not a great performance from him. 0 touchdowns. The Bears defense got exposed. I thought this was about the Ravens showing some heart. Roquan Smith with his revenge game had 12 tackles, was everywhere on the field. They're now favorites to win the AFC North at -125.
Yep.
And I think deservedly so. You look at what the Steelers did on Sunday night. You look at the Steelers' next couple opponents. It might be with an 8-9 record, but the Ravens might be the best team in this division still.
Yeah, the Ravens are at -105 to win the division up on FanDuel right now. The Steelers at +175, and rightfully so. You look at the schedule now for the Baltimore Ravens, and it gets easier. Lamar Jackson's going to come back. They're 7-point favorites on Thursday against the Miami Dolphins. Then it's the Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Packers, and Steelers. And meanwhile, the Steelers' schedule Yeah, they have those 2 games against the Ravens, but with the loss last night, they are 4-3, and this schedule does get more difficult. Colts, Chargers, then Bengals, Bears, but then look at this stretch. Bills, Ravens, reprieve against the Dolphins, but then you play the Lions, and then division game against the Browns, which is never easy, and then against the Ravens to end the year. Tough stretch for the. I totally agree with the odds, and we
They're
talked
going
about
to be 8-8. The Steelers are versus Baltimore week 17, probably for the week 18, probably for the division, and for the legacy of Tomlin's undefeated losing streak. It's all going to be on the line week 18.
Yes, as he's never had a losing season. I do think that Caleb Williams is a liability for the Chicago Bears.
Really bad end to the game. Really embarrassing end to the game. When you're 20 seconds left, and it's like, how many times we got to score? And you're clapping. You're trying to get him to snap. I don't know how you get to the end of the shot clock in the end of a play clock in the last minute. End of a play clock.
Yeah. And it happened last year too, and there's just so many moments where you question this kid's ability to be an NFL quarterback. And
but he's still, but you say that, but like he still had a 60 QBR, still had 290 passing yards. Like a lot of quarterbacks are not doing that. Like I don't think he's been bad enough to be in that conversation. Like he's been way better than like Tua this year or something.
Yeah, Mackenzie, I just think there's a lot of bad quarterback play in the NFL.
That's true.
And
that's true.
And I think that there's a lot of players that are playing the quarterback position that are phenomenal athletes that have incredible arm strength and skill.
The stuff Tom Brady's always talking about. But these guys they don't know the game.
Exactly. But they don't know the game. They don't read the defenses. They don't understand game situations. There's no anticipation. It's all reaction instead of anticipation. And you're seeing these quarterbacks fail up and down the league every single Sunday. And there's issues. And the problem is, in my opinion, it's not enough play. Okay? These kids are being drafted and playing in the NFL with very little playing experience. One good season in college does not make you an NFL starting quarterback. And you know something? It hasn't worked out for all of these guys. Find me, where's the quarterback in the NFL right now that is having success that came into the league with 1 year? With 1 year as a starter? Who? Who came in with 1 year and is now all of a sudden tearing up the league? But you look at the quarterback.
No, it didn't really work out. I really don't. Yeah, seems like every time it's like a 1 year wonder. Cam Ward.
Nope. Look at the quarterbacks.
Let's
just look at the quarterbacks that have been successful and where they are. I'm just going to go up and down the week 8 schedule. Okay. For the Vikings, they don't have a quarterback, so forget about that. Okay. And JJ McCarthy, we don't know, so whatever.
Yeah. He did have a lot of starts.
Justin Herbert, plenty of starts in college. Even Tua, plenty of starts, right? But he's still, whatever, fluky. Michael Penix has had plenty of starts in college.
Two different colleges, yeah.
Yep, plenty of starts. Obviously, Joe Burrow, plenty of starts. Okay, yeah, he had the one massive season, but the kid was around. Obviously, went from Ohio State to LSU. Right. Justin Fields even had his time. Dylan Gabriel has had plenty of starts in college. And I think Gabriel can be a decent quarterback. He's just undersized and needs a better team than the Cleveland Browns. Drake May, plenty of starts in college. Jalen Hurts, plenty of starts in college. Jackson Dart, plenty of starts. Josh Allen, same thing. Then on the other side, Cam Ward, no. Caleb Williams, no. Spencer Rattler, no.
He was the starter at Oklahoma, got benched.
Yeah, and then he went to South Carolina.
Another year.
Yep. Yeah. But it's Anthony Richardson, no. But Daniel Jones, yes. Bo Nix, yes. These guys.
But is Bo Nix better than Caleb Williams this year? I don't think so.
Yes.
Bo Nix has been terrible except for last quarter of the last game. He's been on a better team.
Yeah, and Bo Nix is a winner though, and he's been around.
He got to win.
And he was he's the guy that fit the Parcells mold. There's a reason why Sean Payton wanted him, and he's having great success. Another 4-touchdown game yesterday. The kid won last year. The kid's winning this year. And also, Mackenzie, it's also happened where and I'm not saying these guys can't be good quarterbacks because, another thing, Baker Mayfield, plenty of starts. But you look at a guy like Sam Darnold came into the league with not enough starts in college, right? But the Jets gave up on him because he was a bust. And guess what? Couple of years in the league, couple of years to develop. now what are we seeing from Sam Darnold?
It's crazy that he's 28. He's been in the
Exactly.
league for 12 years.
Exactly.
Since he was 16 years old.
So, yeah. So you can still, like, these kids can be good quarterbacks, but expecting them to come into the league right away and be winners, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen when you don't have enough experience playing at the position at a high level. So that's what I see up and down.
And this is what happens. They can't just move on.
Mm-hmm.
They can't say, actually, J.J. McCarthy is not good, but we like the coach. So they're going to say, well, we got to start J.J. McCarthy because he's our future. If there's a future, then they're going to fire the coach who's good, and maybe he'll win a Super Bowl somewhere else. But I feel like the churn of the NFL at this point is not aligned for the best possible football.
Yep. Let's take a look at what else happened yesterday here in the NFL. The Texans beat the 49ers 26-15. I mean, the Niners need Brock Purdy back. The Niners need Brock
Finally.
Purdy. Yeah,
that's the silver lining here for a 49ers fan. It's like, well, I knew Mac Jones wasn't as good as Brock Purdy.
They need Brock Purdy back. They need Brandon Ayuk to finally get on the field.
Yeah.
Like they built themselves up a little bit of leeway with the hot start to the season. So even with the
big
loss,
game this week at New York.
Yeah, even with the loss, they're still 5-3, so they're in range here.
Yeah.
But they got to start winning some football games, and it's got to happen. Like they need Brock Purdy back in a bad way.
They've lost 3 of 5. They're probably closer to the last 5 games than they were when they beat the Seahawks at Seattle. Just talent-wise, they were a lot better. They're gonna beat the Giants. They're gonna scrounge together like 5 more wins.
Yep.
To make the playoffs, and that's probably where the train ends.
Yep. George Kittle did score a touchdown yesterday. That was the one tight end that I wanted to bet individually to score a touchdown on National Tight Ends Day. He was the guy that invented the whole thing. Yep. It wasn't as big of a National Tight Ends Day as it was last season, where 15 tight ends scored touchdowns, but there were plenty of tight ends that scored yesterday.
Tucker Kraft got busy.
Tucker Kraft had 2 on Sunday Night Football with the Packers. Ridiculous offense, beating the Steelers 35-25. You certainly had 2 touchdowns for you had Jake Ferguson did not get into the end zone. That was disappointing. So that was one where I was like,
Jake Tonges did.
Jake Tonges did. Dallas Goedert. That was what I was talking about. Dallas Goedert had a couple of scores here for the Philadelphia Eagles. So there were several tight ends that did cash here on National Tight Ends Day, but a couple did sell. Like,
is it a National Tight Ends weekend? Like, does Kelsey get involved?
No.
On Monday Night Football?
No, just like Arondé Gadsden on Thursday didn't count because it's not National Tight Ends. National Tight Ends Day is today or yesterday, and Kittle
give someone. It's just giving someone a box on December 26th. It's not a Christmas gift at that point.
And Kittle scored, so there you have it. Bucks beat the Saints 23-3 in a game where they just had to get out of Dodge with a win. The Bucks didn't have to do anything too impressive. They were banged up significantly with all the injuries that they've been dealing with, but the Saints are just a putrid team, and they made a quarterback switch, and they went to Tyler Shuck during the game yesterday. I think that's a smart decision because you got to see what you have with this kid before you make a decision on the draft next year. I know Shuck lost the job or was beat out in training camp by Spencer Rattler, but now you got Tyler Shuck at quarterback. I would expect moving forward here for the Saints.
I mean, what do you have to lose? You're 1-7.
You're 1-7.
And Tyler Shuck had even worse numbers than Spencer Rattler, which is saying something because both were terrible. But coming in when you're down and they're have their ears pinned back going at your quarterback, he'll have a real test probably for the rest of the season, or at least the next few games.
So I'm still so bothered by the Saints beating the Cardinals a couple of weeks ago for their only win because that knocked me out of Survivor. I'm not saying I would have still been alive with all the carnage.
The Titans beat the Cardinals.
What's up?
The Titans beat
the Titans. Excuse me. Yes, because I'm getting to the Titans. Yes, Saints beat the New York Giants actually, which is crazy.
Giants had 5 straight turnovers that game.
Yep. So let's talk about the Titans. I'm so bothered that they beat the Cardinals a couple of weeks ago in that ridiculous loss. I'm not saying I'd still be alive in Circa Survivor, but it would be nice to see what would have happened. But then again, all those other people that got eliminated with me on the Arizona Cardinals would have been in the same boat. But the Colts blow out the Titans 38-14. Jonathan Taylor, for the 4th time this season, had 3 touchdowns. Okay, Now, Jonathan Taylor is going to win the Offensive Player of the Year this year. He is minus 250 up on FanDuel right now to win the Offensive Player of the Year award. But he is 20-1 to be the MVP. Is it worth considering Jonathan Taylor to be the most valuable player, Mackenzie?
It's ever more a quarterback award.
Yeah.
I
You're right.
feel
If Saquon didn't do it last year, right?
Christian McCaffrey 2 years ago, like they were the best players in the league. There would have to be the reason why it can't happen, in my opinion, is because if Mahomes falls off, then Josh Allen will win it. If Josh Allen falls off, then Drake May or Baker Mayfield will win it. You can't. There's no scenario where every quarterback is undeserving of MVP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at 200-1, I'd be interested, but at 21, I don't see it.
So Jonathan Taylor minus 250 to be the Offensive Player of the Year, as I mentioned, the fourth game of the season with 3 touchdowns, and that's what happened in the blowout of the Titans. Let's have a conversation about the Colts here, okay? Now, they are 7-1, Mackenzie.
Best record in the league.
The Indianapolis Colts are 7-1. They are the third favorite to win the AFC right now, behind the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills.
And that is winning the AFC, not having the best record in the AFC.
Correct. Just winning the AFC, right? To be the number 1 seed, they are plus 170 favorites on FanDuel to be the number 1 seed.
Where are the Chiefs there?
The Kansas City Chiefs to be the number 1 seed are plus 440.
Have 3 losses. They're what?
Plus 440.
Are they the second favorite?
No, the Bills are the second favorite, plus 300.
2 losses. All right. That's about right.
So here's what I want to talk about real quick, okay? The Colts' schedule. This 7-1 start. Let's talk about it, okay?
It's been easy.
They beat the Miami Dolphins in week number 1. The Miami Dolphins, who are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Congratulations, got themselves a win here on Sunday, but the Miami Dolphins are 2-6 on the season. Their second win was against the Denver Broncos. That was only a win because of a penalty on the field goal that was missed that gave them another chance to kick the game-winning field goal.
They played well enough to have a coin flip where they probably should have. They should have lost, but they played well enough to be in that game.
Very good. Then they defeated the Tennessee Titans, who are one of the worst teams in the NFL, maybe the worst team in the NFL, at 1-7.
Yep.
Then the Colts lost to the Rams. That is a team that has a winning record, Mackenzie. That is a team in the Rams that is 5-2 on the year, and the Colts lost to them. They beat the
had
Raiders
a lead in the fourth quarter, but the Rams also statistically kind of dominated that game.
Yep. They beat the Raiders. They blew out the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, who are 2-5. They beat the Cardinals in a very close game. The Cardinals, who are 2-5 on the season. Then they beat the Chargers in a very, very impressive game. And the Chargers, who picked up a win on Thursday night, playing a little bit better football, getting healthier now. They are 5-3 on the year. I'm not going to take anything away from that game from the Indianapolis Colts. And then you beat the Titans here once again, who are the worst team in the NFL. How can we evaluate this Colts team fairly and consider them the best team in the NFL or amongst the best teams in the NFL when they haven't played anybody? And when they did, you have one good win, one good data point here against the Chargers, and a loss against the Rams. They're 7-1, but this might be the flukiest 7-1 team you'll find.
It's fortuitous, but I would not say fluky, and that's what you kind of earn when you beat a team like the Raiders 40-6, or beat a team like Miami 33-8, or even the Titans 38-14. It's like, yeah, we're never going to say you're a world beater when you win those games, but what else are you supposed to do? Winning by 3-4 touchdowns is what good teams do historically.
Sure.
Averaging 30 points per game means you're likely going to be in the conference championship.
Okay. Next week, the Indianapolis Colts are 3-point favorites at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's Fugazi versus Fugazi crime. Neither of these teams are good. Somebody's got to win.
Steelers are going to win that game. And then in 2 weeks from now, they will be at the Kansas City Chiefs, where the Chiefs will bring the Colts down to earth. And then we'll see what they do. You know, they play the Jaguars twice, and they have that whole thing in the division where they always
play
lose.
Houston twice. Houston might not be bad.
And they got to play Houston twice is right. Like, there is a chance at 7-1 right now. I think 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this team is. I think they have 6 losses on their schedule.
Jaguars 5-1. If I like the Jaguars more, I might be interested because I could see the Colts fall, the bottom falling out. It's possible. That is a realm of. It's in the realm of possibility. If you just think this team is the good bad team, they dominate teams like the Raiders. They lose to teams like the Rams. They played a lot more teams like the Raiders than they've played teams like the Rams.
Colts minus 330, Jaguars plus 380, Texans plus 1300.
Ooh, that's a good price on the Texans. I've seen them at 10-1.
Give me the Texans plus 1300. I think watch the Texans win this division. Watch the Texans win both games against the Indianapolis Colts and win this division. Plus 1300. Wow, that's
they got to be Denver this week for me to be a believer. But hey, you hop on before the rest of the public.
Well, let's think. Let's think.
You grab 13-1 now.
They need 11 wins. They need 11 wins. They have 3 right now. So let's say if I have them sweeping the Colts, that's 5 wins. Okay.
5 wins.
I have them beating the Raiders and the Cardinals. That's 7 wins.
And the Titans, that's 8.
And the Titans, that's 8. Beat the Jaguars at home. That's 9. And now I need 2 wins between Broncos, Bills,
Buffalo,
Chiefs, and Chargers. Can you go 2-2 in those 4 games?
If you beat the Broncos, you can. You got to win this one at home on Fox, 1 o'clock.
Wow, that is something. I think it's an attractive number, Mackenzie. I think it's an attractive number. Okay, let's talk about Monday Night Football. The Commanders are at the Kansas City Chiefs. Up on FanDuel right now, I mean, this is a heavy line, and rightfully so. It's Marcus Mariota at quarterback once again for the Commanders, and the Chiefs are at full strength. But up on FanDuel right now, the Chiefs are an 11.5-point favorite. Let's build our same-game parlay. Now, I'm going to start with one very interesting leg here that I really like in this game. And actually, they don't let you do the attempts on the same-game parlay. So this would just be an individual prop bet that I like for this game. Isaiah Pacheco over 11.5 rushing attempts. With Kareem Hunt banged up and the Chiefs an 11.5 to 12-point favorite, they're going to be running the ball in the second half. I think Pacheco gets 12 to 15 carries in this game. I like over 11.5 carries for Isaiah Pacheco.
So is Hunt out, or do we know that?
No, he's playing. He's just banged up.
Yeah.
He's just banged up. He's not going to be a big part of their rushing attack.
Well, I like the Commanders here for a lot of the same reasons. The Chiefs know how to milk away these games. They know how to milk away these seasons to get to the playoffs 100%, and that's what they do. You look at the last 5 games, the Chiefs have been double-digit favorites. 4-1 straight up, usually handle business. 1-4 ATS. They're probably up 7. They probably run, get a couple first downs. Kneel at the 1-yard line, up 7. We get the cover.
Okay, so let's build the same game parlay then. Leg number 1, we'll go Commanders plus 11.5. That is leg number 1. Leg number 1 for the same game parlay. Leg number 2, I think if the Commanders cover, this game has to go over. There's got to be points.
Yeah, Commanders aren't getting that many stops.
Yeah, the Chiefs are going to score, and we're just hoping that the Commanders backdoor their way into losing this game by 10. Can they lose the game 30-20? And that's right. And the game goes over. Can they lose the game 38-20? I mean 31-21? Like that's the way it kind of feels for this spot. So
28-21.
28-21.
That gets us there.
28-20 gets us there. 28-20 gets us
47.5? It's 47.5? All right.
47.5. So, all right, 2 legs to start, very easy. Commanders plus 11.5 over 47.5. Leg number 3 of this same game parlay is going to be Rashee Rice.
Pacheco over?
No. We got because you can't do attempts, and I don't want to do rushing yards, but I would like to do Rashee Rice over 6.5 receptions. And the only reason why I like the over 6.5 receptions for Rashee Rice is because you get plus money on that individual prop. So we're going to jack this payout a little bit. Plus, if you go over a Chiefs player, if we're betting on the Commanders, that helps with the negative correlation here. Last week, in Rashee Rice's first game back for the Kansas City Chiefs, okay, he had 7 catches on 10 targets against the Raiders. But 2 things that we have to actually take away from that game. 7 catches on 10 targets, okay? 1, the starters only played 2.5 quarters, okay? The Chiefs put the backups in the third quarter and the fourth quarter of that game because they were up 31-0. The other thing is Rashee Rice was on a snap count. He was on a snap restriction. And so in limited snaps, he had 10 targets and 7 catches. In this game, he's going to get more snaps. The restrictions are not, maybe not lifted, but the snap count's going to be higher. So he's going to be on the field more in this game tonight than he was last week when he had 7 catches on 10 targets. He's probably going to have double-digit targets again.
Rashee Rice, when he had those 10 targets last week, 41% of snaps he was on the field. Lowest of any receiver. They're working him back, and he had those plays by the end zone, so he's, on everyone's mind. But you're right. I don't think he's gotten his full utilization yet.
And Mackenzie, it wasn't even that. Like, it wasn't even the 41% snap share. When he was on the field running a route, he only ran 16 routes. He was targeted 10 times on the 16 routes that he ran.
That's what they call a wide receiver 1.
Yes, he's going to
be
targeted.
The team has been missing.
He's going to run more routes tonight. He's going to be targeted more. Let's go. Leg number 3 is Rashee Rice over 6.5 receptions. So our 3-leg base same game parlay for Monday Night Football. The Commanders plus 11.5. The game to go over 47.5. And Rashee Rice over 6.5 receptions. We are at plus 510. Now, let's get one more leg to jack this thing up.
One of the reasons I like the side is because I think a lot of it was an overreaction to Mariota being in. Mm-hmm. Some money's been coming on the Commanders, so I think they're starting to realize that isn't that much of a change. And I think it's kind of be like a Monday Night Football, kind of like a last hurrah for Marcus Mariota. I feel like they bring the Oregon tape out, they talk about the career, they talk about the journeys, the legacy, and this is going to be, I think he gets in the end zone. What if we threw in Mariota rushing yards over and or rushing yards, rushing touchdown? The fact that he gets in the end zone, plus 370 to bet it by itself for anytime score.
If we add the Marcus Mariota anytime touchdown to the base 3-leg parlay, we make it plus 1528. If we add the Marcus Mariota rushing yards over 28.5, it makes it plus 927. So I'll let you do multiple options here. So our base 3-leg parlay, Commanders plus 11.5, over 47.5, Rashee Rice over 6.5 receptions, that's plus 510. You add Mariota rushing yards, and that's at over 28.5. That's plus 927. If you add the Marcus Mariota anytime touchdown, it brings it from the plus 510. It brings it to plus 1528. And if you wanted to combine all of them together,
I have one with everything.
That brings it plus 2195 for our same game parlay for Monday Night Football between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Washington Commanders, courtesy of the FanDuel Sportsbook. All right, let's talk a couple of hockey news and notes and World Series Game 3 coming your way tonight.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Okay, Mackenzie, before we get into the World Series and some NBA, some hockey notes here. The Eichel Tower was started yesterday, and we are at 1-0 on the Eichel Tower. Now, I tweeted this out last night. You guys can always follow me at Scott's On Air. But we are doing a 10-game ladder challenge on Jack Eichel shots on goal. Now, Jack Eichel started 7 for 7 this season, going over 2.5 shots on goal. Now, some games, this prop might rise to 3.5 because we're already paying a ton of juice on the over 2.5. But I wanted to wait. My strategy was I was going to wait until he had a game that he went under before we started this ladder challenge. And on Saturday, Eichel went under in the Golden Knights' loss to the Florida Panthers. So that meant yesterday, in the Knights game against the Lightning, we fired up the Eichel Tower. And in game number 1, this is our 10 to 10K challenge, we cashed. Eichel had 3 shots on goal yesterday, cashed the over 2.5. We are currently sitting at $10 going into the next game, which will be coming up tomorrow at Carolina against the Hurricanes. So we will update this on every show as we obviously gear towards the next Golden Knights game. But our Eichel Tower is 1-0. Our $10 to 10K ladder challenge on Jack Eichel shots on goal prop. All right, well, just 2 games on the schedule for tonight in the NHL. The Blues are at the Penguins, and the Bruins are at the Senators. Ottawa -175 in that game. St. Louis a -120 favorite in the first game. The first week or so and first weekend of the NBA season is in the books. Mackenzie, before we take a look at some of the games on the schedule here for NBA Monday, any takeaways from you for the first week and weekend of the NBA regular season?
A lot of action, a lot of great games. Luka's averaging 40, Shea is averaging 40 and is undefeated. But I think this is the week we will remember when the question isn't whether Victor Wembanyama becomes an all-time great, or if he's better than LeBron, or if he's better than Kobe. I think if you look at the full body of what he can do, averaging 35, 15, and 6 blocks per game, I'm not saying he's going to get there. I'm not going to say he's going to go down as a top 10 great, although I'd bet on it. I think the only question is, can he be better than Michael Jeffrey Jordan? I think you got to ask that question because LeBron was always great in the way that Michael was great, but slightly worse at it, slightly less good at scoring, slightly less efficient, slightly less good at defense. No one's ever been what Victor Wembanyama is presenting himself to be. Now, he won games against the Mavericks, Pelicans, and Nets. So I'm not saying he's the best player in the league. I'm saying if he's this good, and this is not a mirage, not only is he the best player in the league, but he's knocking on higher echelons.
Okay, that is high praise for Victor Wembanyama.
Trying to be objective here. 35, 15, and 6.
Yeah.
It's like Hakeem with a jump shot, but he's taller.
He's making moves. Like there was the highlight reel that they showed a couple of days ago of him crossing over a guy at the top of the key, and it's like
ridiculous. He's so fast.
Yeah, like players that big aren't supposed to move like that, And that was the thing. That's what made
the gym, man.
That's what made Shaq like just an anomaly, is because towards the later part of his career didn't really move that well. But you go watch early clips of Shaquille O'Neal at LSU.
Oh, for sure.
And look no further than go watch the movie Blue Chips. Like Shaq was a freak to be that tall and to have feet as quick as he had, to be as physically imposing as he was, as thick and muscular as he was, and as quick as he was, made absolutely no sense scientifically. The one issue that I will always have with Victor Wembanyama, and it could change as he gets older, is that I think he's too thin, and I fear his body not holding up over the course of a long NBA season. So if he adds some meat.
Yeah, he's played 3 games. He's also played 1.5 seasons. So yeah, whether or not he can stay on the court is a different question.
Yeah, so that's my only concern, because the skill is obviously there. I mean, the guy is an absolute freak, but he's got to put on some weight. He's got to put on some size, not height, size. Let's take a look at the schedule for tonight. It is a full schedule of NBA action here on this busy Monday. Any games on this schedule jump out as intriguing matchups to you, Mackenzie? You got the Cavs are at the Pistons, so maybe, we talk about how the Pistons could possibly do in the Eastern Conference this year. Elsewhere, you got the Thunder at the Mavericks. Could be a good matchup. We saw what Cooper Flag kind of broke out a little bit here yesterday and played much better than what we saw in his debut. You got the Blazers are at the Lakers. Still no LeBron for the Lakers. So let's see what they do. And the Nuggets are at the Timberwolves.
Luka as well. No Luka now.
Okay, so what matchups on this schedule jump out to you?
I'm looking at OKC visiting Dallas. Dallas got their first win of the seasons. Really bad losses in the prior 2 games. And I look at the last line. The Thunder were at Atlanta, and they were 6.5-point favorites. Ended up pulling away in the second half. Dallas, I don't think, is within a point of Atlanta. And they're coming off a second night of a back-to-back. I'm a little bit worried about the matchup. Maybe Shea is going to be a little boxed up with all that size and length they have. But the Thunder just have to hit threes, and they're going to have a lot of open threes in this game. So that's a game I'm looking at.
Okay. So that's what we're going to look at here for tonight in a busy NBA schedule. And then, of course, we'll progress throughout the remainder of this week and take a look at some best bets. And it's going to be a lot of fun this NBA season so far. If we're looking just, at the standings, who's kind of separating themselves? Well, no one, because it's been only a couple of games. I mean, I guess the Spurs are 3-0. So, great. That's the team that's separating themselves.
Greatest player of all time.
Greatest player of all time. Plus
Either
16.
him or Shea, because they're 3-0 too.
Plus 16-point differentials, just amazing. And I will say the Pacers are off to an 0-3 start, but we knew about all the injuries. They are going to be hovering around the play-in, I think.
Celtics probably too. The gap year teams probably won't be as bad as they've shown so far. Yeah, gap year teams. All right, Game 3 of the World Series is tonight. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays are even at a game apiece. They're in L.A. tonight, where the Dodgers are minus 205 currently up on FanDuel. Total is at 8. Max Scherzer goes for the Blue Jays. Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers. I still think the value is on the Dodgers at minus a game and a half. That was the handicap prior to the Game 1, and you can now 3 out of 4.
And now you can get a reduced price here on the Dodgers. Minus a game and a half is plus 102. This series is not going 7, with all due respect to the Toronto Blue Jays. Dodgers are better. Yamamoto with a complete game in that second start. Honestly, Yamamoto at plus 800 to plus 900 to win the MVP is worth a shot if he pitches a second time in this series, maybe in a Game 6. So without any batter really separating themselves, Yamamoto with a complete game. In game number 2, he pitches a gem again here. Maybe in game number 6, he could win this MVP. Right up on FanDuel, he's at plus 800 right now. I like the Dodgers tonight. I'll lay the minus a 1.5 on the run line. I think I'm going to do some props here on the Dodgers. I might do their team total in the first 5 innings. Max Scherzer is only pitching his second game in the last 30-somewhat days. He had a great performance against the Tiger.
Although he did not hit 7 innings, and my 20-1 bet with you came up a loser.
Yes,
he had 5 2/3 innings.
Yes, he had 5 2/3 innings. He did pitch well. Okay, he did pitch against Seattle. Did pitch well against Seattle, but he gave 4 walks. That's a red flag. That's a red flag, and you can't walk this Dodgers team. You just can't. So I think that, Mad Max will be in full effect here, but I do think it'll be a short outing for him. I think the Dodgers get to him in the first 5 innings, and I think the Dodgers win this game here tonight and take a 2-1 series lead. And a series that, even though it's tied at a game apiece, I still think is going to be Dodgers winning at least in game number 6, if not in game number 5. So that's my play here for tonight. World Series game number 3 between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Good luck with the same game parlay tonight for Monday Night Football. And don't forget to hit us up on social media as well. And we will have lots more coming this entire week for you. Working on that systems page up on betterday.com, as well as, of course, the Trench Report coming out on Wednesday. And let's see if we can continue the success with the running back props as well in that Trench Report after a massive NFL Week 8 Sunday. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.